Senator Sterle.
Thank you, Mr Acting Deputy President. Look, I won't take long, but I just think it's important. I've been working around this area for a long, long time, and this is just a clean-up bill. My view is very clear. I think it's criminal that the ANL was sold to start with. I think it's absolutely criminal that this government has done everything it can to diminish the Australian shipping fleet. This government has gone out of its way to make sure that not only have we got rid of Australian-flagged vessels, but we have killed off good-paying Australian jobs. Now, let's get this very clear. We are an island nation, for crying out loud. I was joking a number of years ago with a good friend of mine, ex-MUA Secretary Mick Dolan, when Mick said to me, you know what, Sterle, he said there were more ships in the first fleet when we came to Australia than what we got now. I said, Mick, that's not even funny anymore. But this is what it is. We've got 13 flagged vessels. But, Mr Deputy President, it is imperative that anyone listening to this should actually focus on what has this government done to drive down the opportunity for Australian seafarers. Masters, skippers, engineers, they don't go to a pastel-coloured classroom, that's it, I knew it was something like that, a pastel-coloured classroom at TAFE to learn how to be a master, a skipper or an engineer. These skills are learned for many, 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 many years. And I'm not joking, it's getting into near on 20 years where these workers develop these skills. They don't get it out of a Wheaties box. Could you imagine the bile that would be coming from that side if we just said, well, we don't need Aussie farmers anymore, we'll just get rid of Aussie farmers and we'll bring in whatever from other countries. And not only that, we'll exploit the temporary visa system and we'll exploit them when they get here. Could we imagine? Well, now, Senator Brockman, you and I get on extraordinarily well. You know that there would be uproar. So why is there not uproar when our shipping industry has been decimated by the Howard government, followed by the Abbott, Turnbull and where are we now, Morrison governments? So, go back to this. I know, and Mr. I'm going to call you Madam, Acting Deputy President, when you and I sit in here and we listen to Senator Reynolds give off her spiels about defence in question time and what a great spend we're doing in shipping and defence, here's a little bit of info for you mob over there. Did you know that before these vessels, all these Australian defence vessels that are going to be built here, did you know they can't be handed over to the Navy until the merchant Navy's done all the sea trials? Now think about that. You're going out of your way to make sure there won't be any more captains, engineers, masters and the lot. So who the hell's going to do it then? What do? You're going to exploit another temporary visa system or another worker visa system and bring in the foreign engineers and captains. Well, that's what you're doing now. Not only that, we also pride ourselves that when we have catastrophes off our coast on the Great Australian Barrier, they're not Australian ships that are running into the reef. So from an environmental argument too, we want Australian captains, Australian engineers, Australian masters and Australian seafarers. Not only that, what happened to the old Howard thing you stuck on your fridge, don't be alarmed, be alert? What about national security? Wouldn't it be nice if we knew where all these seafarers were coming from before they came here? So this may come as a real shock, Madam Acting Deputy President. I am totally fired up and have been for many, many years watching the Australian seafarers and seafaring industry being decimated by that side of government, and I just think the hypocrisy coming from the government is extraordinarily. They need to be held to account. Because, as I said, I couldn't imagine if we export all our farmers. Well, maybe what we should do is we should exploit foreign visa systems and bring in foreign politicians. That'll probably work for 1/10 of the wage too. It's probably not a bad idea. But you jump up and down about that. It's a nothing bill, but I'm still pretty peed off about the demise of the Australian shipping industry. That's it. Thank you.